So let me know once it started.
Yeah, please
Thank
go ahead.
you. Thank you, Vipul. Thank you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining in. And today we'll be understanding the Power Query Editor. Like I'll be walking you through the Power Query Editor in Power BI specifically. So this is about me. I'm Dr. Gomathi. I'm a certified trainer. That is, I'm a MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer, Microsoft Certified Trainer Community Lead. I'm a global speaker and mentor as well. And I own my own YouTube channel. So I have empowered throughout in my journey, like 14 plus years of my career, and as a professor as well as a trainer. So I have empowered more than 10,000 plus learners, and 14 years I have experience. And I'm mentoring more than 500 plus people, for even including students as well as rural women, women empowerment, and everything. So I'm a founder of Global Tech Connect user group, which is basically in the Dynamics 365, but also we used to do other things as well. And we have my MCT Tamil community to empower the people who are not only specific to Tamil Nadu, it's also for everyone who speaks Tamil. We also welcome people from other languages as well. So these are the books which I have recently published the last 3 years. The first three books, the first book which is on Business Central. This is my first book on the technology related one, which is an implementation guide, which is published through April. And then next one is the Fabric Engineer Associate Certification Companion. So I did my DP 600 exam. So during that exam, whatever I have prepared as a notes, and I just wanted to make it as a book, so I did it. And also next one is a Business Central Developer Certification exam, which was released 2 years ago. The exam was released, like exam was launched 2 years ago, so I wanted to create a small book on that. The last one is my PhD book, like what I did in my PhD, that I have completely covered as a book, and I have published that. So this is my journey, and this is my mentoring. So these two are I'm mentoring currently. I'm mentoring a ninth grade rural students on AI, and also the She Powers BI, which is an online mentorship program, which specifically for the women. I'm just quickly going through. I just don't want to spend much time on introduction part. So this is what these are the workshops and trainings I have delivered so far. And these are my upcoming sessions. So if you want to join any upcoming session, I'm organizing, I'm mentoring. If you want to take all the links are available in the QR code. And if you are joining from Dubai, if you want me to meet in Dubai, I'll be there in the next month. That is on November 21st. I'll be there in Dubai, so you can meet me. So let us just proceed. I don't have any slides for Power BI because I want to show completely as a demo. Okay, no slides. That is what my aim in any sessions. Only my introduction part will be in the slides. Okay, so yes, first of all, let us understand the complete picture of what is ETL. Where does that ETL exactly comes in? Okay, so whenever you are getting the data, if you are a data analyst, if you wanted to become a data analyst or a business analyst or any thing which deals with the data, the first one will be data. Okay, you have to get the data from various data sources. Any idea what is the various data sources I'm meaning of? You can just comment it in the chat box. Just tell me what is a data source. I wish
Can
to see.
be
Yeah, please, you
can
can
be
unmute and talk to me.
can be local files,
Very
Excel,
good.
CSVs, and if we talk about database, it can be in Oracle or SQL or any of the servers in on-premise infrastructure.
Excellent, excellent. That is what a database, a data source. Okay, so if you take a if you take a data source, it can be anything. Okay, it can be from a cloud. It can be from your flat files, like you can see. It can be from also. It can be from cloud, Azure database. You can think about a database. Okay, so let me just tell you this. So you have this data. Okay, this is your data. It can be from any source, flat file, cloud, anything. And then you cannot assure that all your data are properly ready for your analysis, right? What you will be analyzing, you have to analyze whether what is your which product is selling most, which product is selling least, which area is having the least demand. So all these things you have to check, right? So that is where our exactly the concept of ETL comes into the picture. Okay, so ETL in the sense what? Extract, transform and load. ETL, which means extract, transform, load. Okay, so that is what we are going to see, ETL with Power Query Editor. Okay, specifically in Power BI. Okay, so E means extract, T means transform and L means load. So in this part, the first one, E part, that is what? Extracting data from multiple data sources. So that is what the data. Okay, I'm sorry about this diagram. Due to Diwali, I missed my teaching board. Somewhere it is. So please adjust, bear with me. So this is the extraction part. Okay, and then the second comes your transformation part. What is the transformation? That is what we are going to see today. Okay. So for this, you have Power BI where you can see a lot of data sources. Okay. The first step is getting the data, extracting the data. If I'm going fast, stop me. Okay. So even if we are learning only 3 or 4 topics, you should be familiar with that. That is what my idea. So these are the various data sources which we have. So if you click this one, get data from other data sources, you can see that there are various data sources. Okay, before that, is anybody trying with me? Do you have Power BI installed? If you are not in a position to answer, you can just message me. Okay. Okay, so if you are trying with me, you can see here that you have all option, right? So it has all the files based data, the data which you are getting it from the flat file, the data which you are getting it from the database, Microsoft Fabric, Power Platform, Azure, online services and other. Okay, these are the various data you can get it from into the data Power BI. Okay. So before we get the data, we should understand what data we are going to use it, right? So this is what the data we are going to use. The first thing which you can see here is what we have 3 sheets. Okay, these 3 are the 3 sheets. Orders, which will be considered as a table in Power BI. Okay, if you are getting the data, each sheet will be considered as a different table. So if you take the order table, you can see that these all are the first row are considered to be the column. Okay, that is the first row considered to be the field name. Okay, row ID, order date, shipment date. And from the second row, we'll call it as a observation or records or whatever it may be, which related to that first row. Okay. And you can see that you have various data, that is various types of data. So do you know what is a data type? What is a data type here? Have you come across a types of data? You can comment, you can send a chat if you're not, if you're unable to unmute.
It could be text or numbers, like we have several, but these are 2 examples which I can.
Exactly, Mohit. Thank you so much. Thank you. It could be a text. Okay. So here you can see this is considered to be a text. Okay, which in Power BI we'll be calling it as an ABC. Okay, which is a text. Here this is considered to be a date data type. So what type of data you are going to hold it? Okay, what type of data you will be using it? You are going to use it. So this is an ABC, okay, which is a text format. This is also a text format, though it has a combination of numbers, a special character, it is considered to be a text. Okay, and if you just scroll towards the right, you can see here the sales. You can see it's a number which is a fixed decimal. Okay, it's a decimal format, number format. Okay, this is a number, integer format, maybe integer, number, fixed decimal, floating. But you should understand what type of data you're going to deal with. Okay, the very first step of any transformation is what? You have to delete the unwanted column which you are going to use it for further visualization or whatever it may be. You are going to check whether all the data type are properly set. Okay, and you're going to check whether the data, that is the records which you have, are clearly added. Okay, for example, here you can see the row ID. Okay, this is actually, we call it as a surrogate key. in database. Why? Because it's just a sequence number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In order to understand what is a row it is, but it is not going to do anything. We are not going to deal with this. We are not going to create any visual out of this, right? Though if we create a visual, it's of no use. So what we have to do, we have to delete this column. Why should I delete this? Let it be, right? Not here. I'm not going to delete it here. I'll be deleting in my Power BI. Okay. But why should we first get rid of unwanted column? Any idea? Okay. So the first thing, why should we get rid of unwanted column in the sense we are dealing with the sample data, right? So, okay, we can use it. But imagine if you are using your data in real time, you may have more than 50 columns. It won't be like only 3 columns or 4 columns. You may be dealing with more than 15 tables. Okay. So all the columns which you are using will be processed. It is good that if you are deleting unwanted columns, then your model will perform better. Okay. If you're not going to use that in your further visual or something, you can delete it. Okay. Likewise, if you just scroll here and see whatever the changes, if you wanted to do, we'll be doing it here. Okay. So let us just go ahead and import this data into Power BI. So what I'll be doing, so either you can just click here, import data from Excel. This is my Power BI canvas. Okay, this is my Power BI canvas. So first thing we have to do, we have to import the data. Okay, first one is data import. Data import. And the second one we have to do is what? We have to understand what are the various transformations we have to do, whether those table are really meant for transforming, whether you wanted to transform it or not. Okay, and the next comes your data transformation. Okay, you have to understand inside data transformation, you have to do what? You have to delete the unwanted column. Deleting unwanted column, we'll be doing this today. And then you have to delete you have to check whether all the column names are properly set. Okay, and then you have to check whether the data types are properly set, data types. And then you have to deal with the missing data. If you have any missing data, you have to deal with that. Okay, these are the various basic things which you have to try and do it in Power Query Editor. So let us just do that here. Okay, I'm just going to import the data. So either you can click here, import data from Excel, or else you can just go ahead here and click Excel workbook, or else you can click here, get data. Okay, either way, anything you can do. So I'm just selecting here, import data from Excel. And now I'm going to select the data. Okay, let me just choose the data from where it is. Okay, so this is my data, sample store data. Click open. So once you click open, it will first show you what are the tables you have. If you have more sheets, it will show all the tables, what are the tables if you wanted to import. Use it in Power BI. Okay, so it is connecting. Now you can see that it will show you 3 tables. Okay, this is my sample superstore.xls file. If you click this expansion, like right arrow, right? If you just click on this, it will show you, okay, it's still loading. Let me just close this. Okay, let me just re-import it because sometimes if it is open, it won't show properly. So I'm just re-importing it. So here you can see that you have data, people, returns and orders. Sometimes if you have some filtered data, filtrations in your Excel, that may show as a different table, but don't worry. Whatever the table sheet just to select those sheets. Okay, you have to select it here. Then only you can load it. Okay. So once you click there in the right side, you can see the data appearing up. Okay, so what are the columns you have and what are the data you have it here. Fine. So these are the data which we have. If you click on the people table, I'm just clicking on the people table. So what happens, you can see that the column name is not properly fetched. Okay, column 1, column 2. But what is missing here? Actually, the second row should be your column name, right? It should be like person and region. Okay, but what happens? It is showing person and region as the second column. That is, sorry, second row. And the first row, it is meaning like a column 1 and column 2. And even here, if you see returns, you can see that it is showing what? It is showing column 1 and column 2. Okay. What will happen if I didn't deal with this column 1, column 2? I'll just show you what happens if you are not dealing with this. Okay. So if you click on this load, okay, if you click on this load, transform data, this is a cancel. If you click load, it will take you to the Power BI desktop. Okay, this will take you to the Power BI desktop. If you click this transform data, this will take you to the Power Query Editor. Okay, that is the separate window that will take you to the Power Query Editor. If you click cancel, this entire transactions will be cancelled and you have to import right from the beginning. Okay, let me just load the data and show you what happens if you are not properly transforming your data, like not properly making your data for your further use. If you click load, this is your Power BI desktop. As I told, when you click load, the data will be loaded to the Power BI desktop. And on the right side, you have data, right? This is your data pane. Okay, this is your data pane. So here you can see all the table which are coming in. Okay, you have these tables, right? So you can see that the data are coming in. But what happens here exactly is what? When you expand the people, you know, you can see it is showing column 1 and column 2. Because we haven't transformed the data properly. We haven't made the data. We didn't clean the data. So what happens even in the returns, it is showing column 1 and column 2. And orders, it is showing perfectly that these are all the columns. Now you may ask me, why I know the column name. In people, I know these are the column names. In returns, these are the column names. Why should I change the column? Because if you are trying to create any visual out of this, okay, if I'm trying to create a visual out of this, see how it is actually showing. If I'm trying to create a sales out of thing, see it is showing what it is not, it won't show you clearly. It is showing sum of sales by column 2. Okay, and it's not proper. That is what the real thing which you have to change it first. Okay, so are you all clear till this point why we need to do the transformation? Any queries? If you have, you can ask me here. All good till this point? Yes, perfect. So now we have to transform the data. Okay, so what I'll do, this is your Power BI desktop. From the Power BI desktop, you have transform data option here. Just click on this transform data. You can see again a transform data. Okay, what happens if you click this transform data? This will take you to the Power Query Editor, which is a separate window. This will open a separate window. You can see this is a Power Query Editor, and in the back side you can find a Power BI desktop. Okay, so this is your Power BI Editor. So now the first thing we have to do is what? We have to change the column. Okay, you have two options. You can double click here and type returned. Okay, but that is a time consuming. You have only 2 columns here, so you can do it. But imagine you have 50 columns. You cannot type every column, right? So what you can do is, in the Power Query Editor, on the top, you can see there is a home tab. In the home tab, you can find a thing called use first row as headers. Okay, so this is the one you have to try it. Just click there, use first row as header. Now what happens? Automatically your first row will be converted into the header. Returned order ID, you can find it here. Okay, so whenever you're doing any changes, you can find the corresponding changes happening in the right side. This is the applied steps. Okay, so in Power Query Editor, everything will be considered as a M query. Okay, so you cannot undo it. Like there is no control Z. Control Z to undo whatever the changes you are doing it. Instead, you can use this in the applied step. If you just close this, okay, this is your, if you just click on this close button, automatically, okay, it has promoted the header. You can see that it has undone. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to make first row as headers. Fine. Now let us also do it for people. Okay, even for people, you can see this is not available. So this use first row as header will be available in two places. One is in your home tab. Either here you can find use first row as header, or in the transform. Okay, even in the transform, you can see use first row as headers. So you can click here, it will change. Your first row will be converted into the headers. Okay, now let us go back to the orders table. In the orders table, all are perfectly there. Okay, all the data column names are perfectly added. Okay, you can see here that the all the column names are clear. But I have a problem here. I wanted to delete this row ID. So as I told, this row ID is of no use. I'm not going to use it in my visual. Okay, it's a serial number. Okay, so what I'll do, I wanted to delete this, right? So simply select this. You can delete this in a two-way. The first way is right click. Once you right click, you can see something here, remove. Okay, this is the one way of removing your columns. Okay, if you want multiple column to be removed, then you can hold control and select multiple columns. I'm not going to delete multiple columns. I'm just telling. Okay, if you want to delete multiple columns in a one single click, then click on control, select multiple columns, and then right click and remove columns. I wanted to delete only row ID. So I can either right click and click remove, or else I can go to home. Okay, so in the home, you can see you have remove columns. Okay, here you can delete it. Remove column. So your column is removed. It's very simple. It's a very simple click. Your column is removed, and you can see here in the applied steps, you have removed columns. Okay, fine. So once, actually, I haven't walked you through the Power Query editor. Okay, let me just walk you through that. So once this is your Power Query editor window, on the left side, you can see this is query. Okay, all the tables are considered to be a query in Power Query editor. So the tables are referred to as the query. These are the queries. And on the top, you can see there are the menu bar, or you can talk about the ribbons. Okay, it depends on the technology. So if you click on this home ribbon, you can see what are the various options which are available in the home ribbon. Like if you wanted to import another table, you can import it from here. Okay, for example, if you wanted to import another Excel workbook or another CSV file, I can import it from here. Just click workbook, and then where you wanted to fetch, where you wanted to bring that in, you can just select it from there. Okay, and I just wanted to fetch something from here. Okay, so I'm just going to select it from here. So from wherever you wanted to fetch it, you can just select it. If you want to bring multiple data, okay, if you wanted to bring in multiple data, you have to select it from this data source, Excel, again, new source, and you can bring in the data here. Okay. So even here you can see that it's not properly, the column names are not proper. So you can make it as a use first row as header. Again, you have to check all these things. Okay. So these are the options. You can explore these options. If anyone is doing with me, if you wanted to explore, if you want to, if I want you to give 2 minutes of time to explore, I can pause and wait for the questions if you have. Meanwhile, others can explore, or else I'll just proceed further. Okay. Okay. So next comes your transform data. Okay, transforming in the sense like what are the transformation, other type kind of transformations you have, like splitting the column, if you want to pivot, if you want to unpivot, transpose, reverse your rows, use your first row as a header. You know, even if you wanted to use something like scripting, if you wanted to create some scripting here, like R script or a Python script, you can also try it here. Okay, we will discuss, like if you wanted to understand the Python script, we will make it as in a different session. Probably it needs a lot of configurations as well. Next comes your adding a column. If you want to add a new column, what are the options which you have in order to add a new column here? You can find it. Okay, and next comes your view. If you just click on this view, you can see the various data preview, like how this data preview should be there. So you can find it here. Okay, if you want to find what is the null value or how many date duplicates are there in your data, you can use this view. Next comes your tools. Okay, so these are the diagnostic tools. If you want to see how the sessions are like performance diagnosis, you can do it here. Finally, it's a help. Okay, so now the second thing which we wanted to do is what the first one we have completed. If you wanted to import the data from various data, you can various data source, you can import it. The next comes your data transformation, how you wanted to transform the data. Okay, so first one, we have deleted the unwanted column. We have set whether column names are properly aligned, and now we have to see the data type. What are the types of data, whether the data is properly assigned. Okay, so let us just click on the first one is return. Let us click on the returns. How to check the data type? So this is the data type. Okay, this is your data type. So if you just click on this, this is completely S, right? Or ES, it's a string. So if you just click on this particular ABC, you can see here, right? You have to exactly click on this ABC, which will show you the types of data. What are the types of data you can assign? Okay, so ABC is for text. So you can see here, these are the various types of data you have. You can use it for your, if you want to change some data, you know, like you can change it there. Next comes your, this two is ABC. Of course, you have to leave it as ABC. Okay. Next comes your people. Yes, all are string. Fine. In orders, you have to check this ABC. Yes, it's an ABC. It's a date. Okay, the dates are shown in a calendar icon, like a small icon. You can see here the date time. If it has along with the time, no, it will be like hours, minutes, seconds, like that it will show exactly at what date time you have shipped or you have ordered. If you want in the date time format, you can select here. So this is a date time. And once if you scroll towards the end, you can see that you have this 1.2, okay, which is your fixed decimal. So you can see here, this is a fixed decimal number or a decimal number. Fixed decimal number, you can make it as a dollar or something. Okay, so any specific currency, you can set it. So this is a decimal number. Whole number means it will be like 1, 2, 3. Percentage means it will be a percentage. Okay, and here you can see this is the whole number because it couldn't find any decimal points here. So Power BI will basically understand what kind of data you are trying to import. Okay, what kind of data you are trying to import it. So it will automatically understand. Sometime it will throw you, it will not give allocated properly because it may have some missing data or a duplicate data. So you have to be very careful. You have to check all these things, whether it is properly as aligned with the proper data set. Okay, because you have points, decimal points here, that is why it is showing 1.2, which is a decimal number. And if you take a product ID, you can see product ID. Again, here product ID is not matched with any of this orders ID because we have imported data from a different data source. It's not the same similar data. I just wanted to show you how to import another data. So you can see a product ID, product, and here you can see that there are null values. Okay, and how I can see that? Okay, it has a null value. Imagine that the first few rows are not having any null value. Imagine that after 100th record, I'm having a null value. How can I find that I have null value in that particular column? Okay, the first indication is what? When you look into this one, okay, you can see here that if that column has null value, it will throw you with a different color. It will show you the gray color. If you have a null value, it will show you the gray color and how many percentage of null values you have. So here you can see that only a portion, only this much part is covered with the green color. So which means that only few data you have, other than that all are null values in this column. Okay, this is one way of indication. The second way is what? You have to go to the views, and here you have various options, right? You have a column quality, column profile. So if you just click on this column quality, you can see that how many empty values are there. Empty is here, empty, they are talking about the null value. Okay, how many empty values are there and how many valid data are there, and if in your column do you have any error? Okay, based on that percentage, you can find that how many data are properly, how many columns are properly with the data, proper data, how many columns holds the proper data. So you can see in the first column, it has all are valid data, 100% valid, which means there are no null value. The second column, 100% valid. The third column, only 3% are valid, which means that 97% are null value. Okay, any idea how to deal with the null value? Do you come across how to deal with the string based null value? I'm not talking about number null value. Okay, sometimes even in numbers you may have a null value, but here it has a string null value. Any idea how to deal with that? I'm just giving a pass for me. So that's why. Okay, no one is typing. If you want to unmute and say, you can talk to me. Unmute.
Can we set it to any default value like not applicable or something?
Okay, that is a good thing. Like you can set as a not applicable or something. Again, what happens is what if you're checking this as a not valuable. Why should we deal with the null value? I can tell you that. Okay, let me just try to apply this. Okay, I'm just clicking close and apply. If you wanted to save this, all the changes and apply here. Okay, I'm just clicking close and apply, which will close your Power Query Editor and bring all your changes back to your Power BI desktop. Okay, so what happens if I'm not dealing with a null value? Here you can see that I think in the manufacturer ID you have this product. Yes. In the category I have the null values, right? So if I use the category, okay, and price, and if I'm trying to view it in a visual, so what happens? See, it is not properly showing up. Okay, category ID and the price. Okay, price is in, okay, price is in a text format. Okay, price is not in a number format. That is why it is not showing you in the proper thing. Okay, only category we can view it. And here you can see you have this null empty value, right? Even if you are making it as not applicable or NA, it will show as NA. That is a good option if we have to show that, if we have to specifically show that this much not applicable data are there. But in such a case, like how we'll be transforming the data, you can again go back to this transform data, go to the transform Power Query Editor. Now, what usually I will do is, if it is like a mix or only few data, right, and I have a lot of data, lot of null value here, what I will do is you have to select that particular column and you can just go ahead and click this transform. Okay, and here you have an option called fill. Okay, so just click on this fill and click down. You can see that based on the data which previously the null value has, you can find it that the first value we had is what? Mix. Okay, accordingly other null values are converted into mix. And you can see that next one, it has a rural, any one entry. If it finds any one entry, accordingly, it will fill it up the other thing. So this is not AI. This is a basic backend algorithm or the code written where based on the first data or based on few entries in your column, the other null values will be filled up. Okay, so here you can see this is valid and this is not empty. Fine. Okay, any queries till this point?
For string, it sets like a mix, but what about any other data type?
In
Does
other
it
data type, we'll be,
match it?
yeah, if it is a number or if it is a decimal number, we'll be making it with the mean or median or mode. Okay, you will be getting that, like on what basis you have to fill it up. You have to do a median and fill it up. Okay, so in terms of that, either we have to fill the data, replace the value. Sometimes they'll be giving you, like, if you have a null date value, fill it up with some other default value they will give. If there is no data, fill it up with 0 or fill it up with 5, something like that. Then you can just go ahead and replace the values. Okay, they will if you're working as a data analyst, they will inform you, like, before, if this is the case, then what you have to do. So you can replace that value. Filling will mostly work even in a number, but it is good only with the string. I will not recommend for numbers. Clear? I'm just proceeding. If you have any doubts, stop me. Fine. So now the another thing, I told you that we have to change the data type, right? You may think about, why should I change the data type? See, this is the price of any data, this particular category or this particular product. Okay, this particular product, this is my price. But what if it is a string, that is a text data, you cannot create few visuals. I showed you, right? You cannot create the few visuals, like if you want to show it in the bar chart. Okay, if you have a category that is a string and a number, you have to show it in a different visual, right? The ultimate aim is to visualize the data. In my orders table, I have all things are properly set. So what I can do is by category, sales by category. If I want to see sales by category, then it will create you a better visual. But what if I am doing it in the product? If I am creating a sales price by product, it will show you only in a text table format. Why? Because my price is not properly set. My price data type is not properly set because it shows ABC, which is a string value. Now I wanted to change that. So again, go to the transform data. Okay. Now you can see the product. Now I wanted to split this for this number and this USD. Okay, I want to split this. You have two options. One is split column. Not go with the split column. Okay. Instead, what I will do is what? I'll go to the add column. Okay. And then I will go with column from examples. And here I will go with from selections. And from selection, I will first enter only 4.41.13. That is the first row entry. Once I click enter, you can see that the other values will be automatically filled up. Control enter. Okay, control enter. Okay, let me just try again. I'm just from all columns 41.2.1. Yes, if you press the enter, it will work out. And even the selection column will work. Let me just try the selected columns as well. Previously, it got stuck. 412.13. Yes. Okay. So you can see that only this data, you can find it here. That 329.78, 963.38, 828.98. So once you're fine with that, click OK. Fine. Now again, the new column, it doesn't have a proper column name. You should have a proper column name and the proper data type. Even this one is not properly set because we just typed the data, right? So we have to change it. Let me just type it here and I will make it as a price. Okay, price is already there, right? So what I will do is I will make it as rupee, or what do we call it as? Okay, MRP. Okay, this I will make it as an MRP. Okay, MRP. And the second one I have to do is what I have to change the data type. Okay, so click here and change it to the decimal number if you want to make it as a decimal number, or if you want to make it as a dollar, because here all are dollars, right? USD. Then change it as a fixed decimal number dollar. Okay, now let us go back to the visual. I'm just going to change home, go to this home, close and apply, click close and apply. And now let me select instead of price. So here you can see MRP. Okay, instead of price, I'm just going to select the MRP. Now you can see that it is showing a proper bar graph. Okay, so here with this you can identify that urban has the highest sales. The category urban has the highest sales, whereas rural has compared with urban, rural has very lowest sales, but compared to other, yes, rural is the second highest, mix is the third highest, and youth is the fourth least sold category. Okay, this is the importance of doing this transformation. Why these transformations are really required? Because the data should be consistent for use it, in order to use it for your visual, or in order to create a report or create a dashboard. So whatever it may be, now to show it in a visual, you have to go with this. Okay, if I have the data like this, like if it is a simple table, like if I'm creating something with a product and price, with this, can you guess which is the highest price in mix, which is the highest price in the youth? We cannot identify. And you can see that it's showing the complete data, like complete data is showed in the table. For this, I will better go to this particular table and see, right, what is the data here. So it is always good to just go ahead and check for your data. So even if you feel like all your data which are coming in after cleaning, so few data analysts or business analysts will be dealing with the data which is already cleaned, like they will be they take the data and create visuals. That is fine. But sometimes if you feel like your data is not proper, your visuals are not properly shown, if the visuals value are not properly given, then it means that you have to do some changes in your data model. Okay, something happens in your data model, or some issues with the transformation part. So that's why your data is not properly visualizing here. Okay, this is what the logic. So this is this kind of data. Okay, this kind of visual is not accepted in a report. I'm not telling table are not accepted. I'm not telling the tables are accepted, but ensure that your table should not allow the users to scroll down. Okay, a user is not aware of whether to scroll down or not. If your data is like this, okay, if you have a data, this one, for this particular data, you can make it as a table. Okay, for this table is okay. Okay, so here you can see that this table is easily understandable. So technology, this is my sum of sales. Furniture, this is my sum of sales. Office supply, this is my sum of sales, and this is my total. Yes, this is acceptable. So I'm not telling that table is not acceptable. Okay, table is accepted, but it should not be scrolled down. Okay, it should be good enough to see. It should be easy to understand what you're trying to showcase, what you're trying to show it to them. Okay, so these are the basic transformations which you should see. We also deal with the missing data. How to deal with the missing data? I told you, if it is a null value or if it is a string, you can just go ahead with string, like doing it. Okay, and you have to check all these things, whether all the data are required or if any other data can be. So you should not deal with this zero and all. Okay, this is the exact discount. This is the zero discount which is provided to them. So don't think about changing the zero. If you have any null value or if you have any empty data, definitely you have to change it off. Okay. Finally, the last one which I wanted to show you is what? Even from here, if you want to split this USD, you can do it. Okay. I'll tell you how to split this USD. Previously, I have added a column, right? Now I'll be using the split data. Okay. So if you select this price, in the home tab, you have split column. Okay. This is one way. Or else in the transform, you can find split column. The split column is both in transform and the home tab. So here, if you select the split, you can see there are a lot of options by delimiter, by number, by position, by lowercase, uppercase, digit, etc. etc. So I'll go with the delimiter. Okay, what does the delimiter mean? First, you should understand what is the delimiter. So if you have a data like this, okay, if you have a data, this is your product. This is the year which it sold, and this is the product number. Let us take this. Okay, the delimiter is hyphen, which is limiting your previous entry. That is, this is your. It is combining three different data, right? This is combining your product ID. This is your product ID. This is your year of sales happened, and this is your product exact ID. Okay, this is your exact ID 0001. This is your product ID, category ID. Let me just have it as a category ID. So you are making this entire thing as a product ID or something, or an order ID. Okay, let us say order ID. So now you are combining multiple data into a single data by limiting hyphen, by using hyphen into it. This is considered to be the delimiter. Hyphen is a delimiter here. Likewise, if you take a date, okay, if I'm making it as a date, it's your day, and this is a month, and this is a year. So here the delimiter is slash, okay, divided by symbol slash or something. Why? Because we have multiple, and even you can make this day as a separate column, you can make this month as a separate column, you can make this year as a separate column, but I want all these things together in a single go, and I'm separating these three entries with some delimiter. Okay, so now in my case, I have two delimiters. Can you find out that? In this entry, I have two delimiters. What are the two delimiters? You can send a chat, no worries. So you have a two delimiter, just you have to think about like exactly what is separating the entries, okay, or what is separating the data. Okay, in USD space 412.13, what is the delimiter you can find? I think few more are typing. Space, very good. Space is the one entry, very good. Space, and then any other guess? So here you will be considering this entire thing as the one data, right? But here the decimal point is also a delimiter. Okay, because 412 is one number, 13 is also one number, right? So it is a delimiter considered here. Okay, space is the right answer. Great one. Great Sai and Mudit, and who unmute and talk to me. Yes, that is the correct one. Okay, so if you just go ahead with the delimiter, okay, let me just go ahead with the by delimiter. So what happens? It will default, it will show by space. Yes. If you have custom thing, you know, if I wanted to separate with the custom value, like custom, you can give full stop, like a decimal point. Okay. So let me just go ahead with the space, and it will ask you leftmost delimiter. What is this leftmost? First leftmost thing, okay, or rightmost. If you have one more space, for example, if I have the data like this, okay, if I have USD space, INR space 215.6. So here you have two spaces, right? You have one and two spaces. So this is considered to be the rightmost, and this is considered to be the leftmost. Okay. But I just wanted to go with each occurrences. Wherever the space occurred, I have to delete it. Okay, and just click OK. You can see that your exact price okay, has been separated into two columns. So this is price 1 and this is price 2. You can see USD is separated as a one column and 4213 is separated into two columns. Now, what you have to do now? Tell me correctly. Once you have separated anything, you have to do two things. One is, any idea
Renaming the
what you
column.
exactly? Great. You have to rename the column, and the second one is, I'm just renaming the column as currency. Okay, and the second one is you have to check for the data type. Okay, whether the data type is proper. So the second one is you have to look for the data price. Okay, great. Data type have to check. That's all. Fine, I'm just wrapping up this. The ETL transformation is the important part of any data. Okay, even if you're dealing with that, or even if you're directly using your data, you know, like if you're directly using your data after cleaning, if you feel like your data is cleaned, you're just using only the data. But if you are facing any difficulties in using that, you know, if you're facing any difficulties, your data is not properly shown, or if you feel like your data is not showing the exact data which you are trying to visualize it, the visualization factor is a important thing here, right? So those things you should be very careful if you are just trying to visualize the data but it is not showing up. Okay, so I'm just opening the space for Q&A because I know there will be a lot of questions and transformations. So that is why I've ended before 5 minutes, I think, or 10 minutes. So please let me know if you have any questions before I stop. Happy Diwali to everyone, and thank you all for joining. Yes, Kunal, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah, Gumti, I just want to check if you can implement any personalization features in dashboards.
Personalization features, like you're asking about changing the team, like that, or what?
Yeah, I mean, let's say if I created any particular dashboard and one is for the Germany and same person can access the Power BI report in German language, at least the headers
Yeah,
of
we can
the
do it.
title.
We
Okay,
can do it.
thanks.
Thank you.
Same with the applies with the currencies also. Like for an example, if I have
Yes,
a
yes.
USD, UNR. Okay,
Yes, you can do is USD, UNR, Euro.
right. Thanks, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions?
think there are
So,
no more questions.
okay.
All right,
Someone is
then in that
typing.
case, yeah, someone
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah,
typing.
yeah.
Mudit,
Okay.
Mudit is typing.
Let us wait for one
Yeah,
more minute.
just wanted to
Yes.
confirm that is transformation is more similar to data cleaning, like deleting the
Yes,
data, which is
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
But in Power BI, Power Query Editor, we cannot do the advanced level transformation. Okay. The advanced level transformation may be possible with Python script or R script, but advanced transformation is not possible. I'm talking about that slowly changing dimension. You know, we have a lot of concepts in data cleaning, slowly changing dimensions, and we have SCD, CCDs. That is not possible with Power BI directly with the single clicks and all. Okay, that is possible is Informatica, Tableau thing, but it is not directly immediately possible. But we can do that with lot of techniques.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
In that case, thanks a lot, Gomti, for sharing your knowledge. I really like the idea of hands-on learning. Means there are
Okay.
no PPTs, no slides. Directly, you jump to the demo and hands-on presentation and hands-on demo. That was really awesome and wonderful. I mean, I believe all the participants must have also liked it. So really, again, thank you for taking your time, sharing your knowledge. I know you are already awesome, doing many things, taking many sessions across the community. So really great job. And thank you for all the participants also for joining in today's weekend and joining JPPUG session. Please stay tuned for next sessions and happy Diwali in advance.
Thank you. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.
Take care.